Hello guys, Chris TR Talk here. I am with Glen Saffer. Glenn, would you like to tell me how you first came across Tommy Robinson?
Well, in 2009, I was looking around on the Luton demonstration um, of Muslims of Adam Chowdhury's was going there to have a go at our soldiers for coming back, the East Anglian Regiment, and they were there. And not people know this is that Kevin Carroll contacted Tommy on the Friday night and said we've got to stop this. So Kevin and Tommy, as Tommy knows from Luton football supporter, got a few there, decided to go against them, not violently, but to help our soldiers. It was coming back
Yeah,
from
that was the
Afghan.
soldiers' parade, wasn't it?
Yeah, coming back from Afghan
Yeah.
to do a salute through Luton, and much respect to them lads for coming back after 6 months tour. And it started from there really. I contacted Tommy in 2009 to say, like, where we going? And he said, right, we've got our first demonstration called the English Defence League in Birmingham.
In Birmingham.
Yes.
I actually think I was there for that.
In 2009.
Yeah, because I wasn't aware of it. I just remember walking through the street. It was near where the ball was it?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
There was roughly 60 of us turned up.
Yeah, I think I remember. You had a little police ranger, didn't you? And then I think all the Muslims came and.
Yeah, that's right. And anyway, a little bit of scuffles broke out with Muslims. Nothing to do with us, we were peaceful, as usual. And the Muslims were shouting out, or the Asian Muslims were shouting out, you'll never come back to Birmingham again.
Yeah, I do remember them being hostile. I didn't know that was the first one.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I was actually going to tell you earlier, off camera, that I remember seeing that.
Yeah, that was
Like,
the first
I
one.
didn't know nothing about them. I just thought, like, because I remember loads of police being around, and then chants about England was, and I was like, is there a football game today? Because I think, was it a summer, maybe in the summer holiday?
It was June.
Yeah, so I was thinking, what's going on? Because, a big football fan. So, yeah, I do remember that well. I didn't know that was the actual first
Yeah,
one.
we got kicked out of Birmingham. Let's just say that. We went there, done it, and hostile was terrible. I thought Tommy Robinson was going to bring thousands, but Tommy's Tommy, and he only rounded up 50.
Well, it grew from there, didn't it, really?
Yeah, and then from there we went back and we spoke. Then we all spoke. We got together. Tommy knew a lot of football lads from all parts of the country, going up from Scotland right down to the bottom of Southampton, and he was speaking to the lads, and it started through there. It was angry people. People say about football thugs, they were angry people, what was going on, what they see in Luton, and Tommy tried to say, this is going to happen in your towns.
Well, he was right, weren't he? I mean, as we all know, football hooligans are against each other. Like, with my team, Birmingham and Aston Villa, you'd see them partnering up, wouldn't you, for Tommy?
That's right. I go there even now, and I'm a Tottenham fan through and through. But on the day, I will speak to Aguna, which is Arsenal, and shake his hand, because we're there for the right movement. So football doesn't come in line, as you see now when you go around these football stadiums. They're singing Tommy songs.
Of course they are. And what can you tell me anything about this potential football ban at all?
He's going up on the 3rd of September into Bedford. At the present time, we're not sure if he's going or not, but I feel, personally my opinion, I feel we should stay in Belmarsh. The reason why, because he goes from Belmarsh to Luton, he will only have something like 2 weeks left of his sentence. They're not going to send him back to Belmarsh, they will keep him in Bedford prison. And there's no way I want to see Tommy Robinson go to Bedford, where in Belmarsh, no way he's happy. He's not happy with any prison sentence, what he's got.
Of course.
But he's being looked after. I mean looked after. So I feel like the best interest in Tommy Robinson would be to, on the magistrate side, is either do it in his absence or do it when he comes out. Because it's not a life criminal murderer who's got to go to Luton Magistrates Court. It's only a Magistrates Court. And the most I think they're going to give him could be a 3-year ban.
Yeah.
It could give him a 3-year ban. So for a man to come out of Belmarsh, to be travelled from Belmarsh to Bedford, which is hour and a half, stuck in a sweatbox, moved to Bedford, get his 3-year ban, supposedly, if they give him that, then they're not going to take him back to Belmarsh. They're going to put him in Bedford, where everyone knows about Bedford. We know it's his own town, his own area, but we know that what happens there in Bedford is an overpopulated Muslim jail.
Yeah.
So I feel on Tommy's interests, he stays in Belmarsh.
But do you not think they might try and transfer him to just give him that little bit of a headache before his release?
No. Tommy's very, very, very clued up. Tommy's very clued up. He will. I don't think, in my opinion, he's turning up to Luton. You know. So the answer there, where you hear what Ezra said or Rebel Media, I think that was scaremongering. And I personally feel, from the team, Tommy's team, he's staying in Belmarsh.
That's good. So, first of all, before we go into your prison visit, what's your thoughts on the whole prison sentence in general anyway?
Well, first of all, he goes to court, as we know, in Peterborough, you know, for his kids. Let's go back to that one first, one going on the names of Tommy Robertson. He goes in there under the influence of that, he's going to watch the football game with his 3 children, not involved with any Luton supporters whatsoever. He goes to the pub, the police come in and say, out. Now, if his name was Fred Bloggs, would they have got him out of the pub?
Don't think it happened to anyone. I don't even think it happened to an actual football hooligan.
You're right. As his name was Tommy Robinson, as they used in court, not AKA Stephen Yaxley Lennon.
Is that his real name?
No. His name is Tommy Robinson. The reason why they used his name as Tommy Robinson, there was a football hooligan back in the 70s, named Tommy Robinson, and at that time, Tommy did have a balaclava on his face, and he hid his face up, because he didn't want to be, he was in a Muslim populated area, a Muslim area, so he started off having balaclavas around his face. But then he thought, no, I'm not hiding my face. He told all our lads, take them off, let's not be scared. Let's not be scared, let's go out and show our faces. We're telling the truth.
Yeah, very brave.
You know, so we go there and they kept using his name in Peterborough, Tommy Robinson. We spoke to a police officer who went on the stand and said, do you know Tommy Robinson? He said no. A policeman from Peterborough has stated he doesn't know. But he lied, because what happened, we got the Luton police officer up there, who knows Thomason really well, told Peterborough he's coming to Cambridge to watch football. So they knew he was coming on the Friday night. And then the police officer says, I know the EDL. So if he knows the EDL, he knows Tommy Robinson. So
of course, yeah.
It's a fix, you know, and I cannot understand why they couldn't keep using the name of Stephen Yaxley Lennon. Why use the word of Tommy Robinson when everyone knows as Tommy Robinson from the ex-EDL days? So that judge knows him as Tommy Robinson. If she knew him as Stephen Yaxley Lennon, would he have been found guilty?
Well, if she knew his face, probably.
Yeah. And that's one of the cases you're talking about at Peterborough. You're talking about the ones where he's been done now for the first one, for highlighting. The one in Leeds. It's disgusting. Tommy went upstairs in the courthouse in Leeds, looked at the list of names, which was out in 2017. The names was already out there in the demand of the Sun newspaper. Then they decide to put an order on it. Tommy did not know there was an order on it. When you go to court upstairs, you look at the names. Tommy went upstairs, looked at the names, and didn't see an order on it. Never see it. Tommy goes outside, and you all can see on his YouTube, what did Tommy do wrong? That's the answers I want to know. All he asked him was, how do you feel about your sentence? How do you feel about your sentence? One of them, the Muslim paedophiles, dirty nonsense, turned around and said, suck your mother.
Exactly.
So when someone says that, Tommy's put the phone in him to say, who are you to tell me to suck my mother? At this time, Tommy's mother wasn't very well. So he took a horrible thing to that. And then
he still responded quite well for a comment like that, though, didn't he, really?
Very well. He didn't react. And if you go back on it and you look on the stairs of Leeds, he asked that police officer, am I allowed to film here?
Yeah, he was very cautious that day in the stream, wasn't he?
He knew. No one thought he was ever going to jail. He was not on the steps of Leeds Crown Court. He was at the bottom where the police officer said, go. Then you look back on it, the judge then turns around and looks out the window. And it comes from the judge. To the hierarchy, please, let's arrest him. Not for contempt of court, some silly pumped up charge.
Breach of peace, weren't it? At first. What's so confusing to me is I've never known a case where somebody gets arrested for breach of peace and then sent to prison on another charge within 5 hours.
Yes. Well, what happened was, Tommy asked for his team, which are no longer with us, I can't mention names, asked this particular person to get a solicitor. Now, the PR person who's with Tommy was never contacted. And I can't mention her name either, because that's unfair, is that he's asked for a barrister to turn up in court. Supposedly, the police rung up his barristers and said he will be let out in 2 hours, so no need for you to attend the court. He goes in downstairs in the cell. They brought some government working against him to stand for him. He said he did not want them. He did not want them whatsoever to act as him. Before he knew it, he was in front of the dock, in front of the judge. The judge decides to think, hold a minute, contempt of court, I see what you've done downstairs. I'm going to send you away for 13 months.
Was he told to plead guilty or non guilty?
He was told to plead guilty and you wouldn't get prison. The judge then decided to put him away for 13 months. Honestly, Tommy was amazed. And we're looking at him thinking, hold up, this is corrupt. If I go to court, I'd go to magistrate's court. Then I'll go to Crown Court. Not in 5 hours.
I know.
Go straight from the courthouse of Leeds Crown Court, go to the police station, sitting there for an hour and a half with no legal representation whatsoever. All the legal representation he got was from their side, which Tommy refused to have them working for him. Now, they have laid a lie, is that Tommy's solicitors did not know that's what was happening.
Well, he did.
He knew,
but he knew.
Yes. From then on, he goes to prison for 13 months, and everyone knows, he went to Hull prison. Spoke to a lot of people in Hull. I know a lot of lads from Hull. I won't mention his name either. Phoned me, said he's being looked after really well in there. He's in the hospital wing. Prison officers are looking well in there, really feeding him. He was doing okay for about 6-7 days, and all of a sudden a knock on the door in the morning. Pack up, get your stuff ready, you're on the move. That's what they say, you're on the move. He don't know where he's going. He's thinking, where am I going? He's thinking, am I going to Bradford? Where am I going? They wouldn't tell him. He don't know where he's going.
Do they tell you where you're meant to be going, or is it they do this anyway?
You're on the board to tell you where exactly you're going.
But they just didn't say it for the whole journey.
For the whole journey. And he can't see because he's in the
Yeah,
dark.
of course.
He don't know his area around there. Next one I know, he's an only. But Hull, we know it's a holding jail. We know it's a holding jail. They can't be that long. But why did they take him from Hull to Northamptonshire to Onley and send him in to a 35% Muslim jail?
What about if some people say maybe they had to move in closer to home? Is that possible?
Yeah, obviously we didn't want him to go to Bedford. But there is jails out there.
Yeah.
We don't want Tommy in an open jail. No way. No way we want Tommy in an open jail. Then he decides he's in Onley. He walks straight in, the governor sees him straight away and says to him, would you go on the nonce wing?
They asked him that. Well, they're not in them terms.
No,
but
I'm using that. Would you go on Raw 43? And he refused. He said, I am going on that wing. He said, you can't. I said, why? Because you will get killed. He said, your duty is to look after me and care for me while I'm in this prison. They've said, he said, you write a little letter to say that you're putting me there. Not that I am going on there, because I'm not going to go on there, but you have got to put me there. Next minute done, they've put him there. They've put him down the block. First thing down the block, he's looking round, can't get no sleep. People shouting out, "You're dead, Tommy Robson. You're getting killed," all through the night. He's then got people coming with food, laughing at him when they put the food through the door. He knows he's not selling. What do you think was in that food? Or razors, rat poisoning? Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying it could happen, but somebody in there would like to be a martyr and getting killed. So he refused to eat. He refused to eat. And don't forget, at that time in Onley, that was a very hot summer.
Yeah, it was very hot last year, wasn't it?
So, they've put him in this cell. 60 yards from the cell, there was a mosque. Why did they put him in that cell 60 yards from mosque? He had his windows open because it was hot. They were chucking species inside his window at him. You got to think now, no food, no drink, bored and hot day, laying on his kip with his windows closed.
Disgusting.
So he decides to then to write a few letters and God knows what, but then he was still getting threats that his life was in danger. They didn't get no help whatsoever from his legal team. They refused his legal team for 3 weeks.
But is that illegal though?
That is illegal.
What about the, like the governors and the wardens? Did
Never
they
looked
not
after
help?
him. Never looked after him.
How did they treat him?
Disgusting. Disgusting. That if they'd have felt that bad, why did they put him in a cell 60 yards away from a mosque? When Tommy complained and he sees species coming through his window of human shit was coming through his window. So he had to close it. So he's sitting in a cell of 90 degrees, sweating out just in his pants. You wouldn't do that to a human. You wouldn't do that to a dog.
That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
And then he comes out, bless his heart, everyone see him when he come out. News reporters were outside, Sky TV was outside, and his security turned up. And he looked a mess.
He did, Joe.
And people talk about PTSD. Tommy Robson has got PTSD. You can get that from war, you can get that from anywhere. He got that for being in that cell. Through no communication with the public whatsoever. No communication.
Did he get? Was his visits okay though? Did he?
Not to start with. 4 or 5 weeks before he spoke to anyone.
Really? That's how long?
Yeah. And that was his only days. So, and talking about like Belmarsh now, they've done their rights. They know they cannot put him somewhere like that again. And thank God, he's in a bad prison. It is a very bad prison because I visited Tommy. Tommy looks very, very well. He's lost roughly about 1 stone in weight. But I said to Tommy as a laugh, I called him Hakeem Robinson. I walked in. Now to start with, me and Ezra and my wife, we booked up for the visit. We got there about 10 to 1, quarter to 1. Waited till about 2 o'clock. Took us over. Went in this room. I'll see the canteen now. And I looked and I went, well, where are we going? I thought we were going in this little room here, where all the other prisoners were going. You can order your stuff, but you can't take it. We've got to take it for you. Fair enough. So we bought odds and sods. You're allowed £45 to go in there and buy in all your canteen stuff between 3 of us.
So was you allowed to buy Tommy Robinson stuff as well, yeah?
Yes. We bought Tommy Robson a load of stuff, We bought him What's-Its. He loves cheese and onions. He loves What's-Its. He loves everything smelly. He loves Diet Coke. He loves Diet Coke. The only thing he was a little bit upset with, he couldn't have pork scratchings. Because he loves pork scratchings. He will eat bagfuls and bagfuls of pork scratchings. But I couldn't get them in there because it's halal food and that's what it's like.
Yeah, I do remember the pork scratchings on the MEP campaign. He was talking about them a lot, wasn't he?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, so we stayed there and it come to about, knowing that Ezra had to leave at 3 o'clock. Ezra had to leave at 3 to get his plane at 4 to go back to Canada. So 3:15, we're still standing there. They've called the visitors in to the main hall. And I've never been to Belmarsh before, so I don't know the script.
Yeah.
2:30, still waiting there. Now my visit's at 2:00. 2:30, nothing. So I called this prison officer over. I said, excuse me, I've come to see Stephen Yaxley Lennon. What's taking the time? They've said, you need security to take you over there. I said, security? He said, yes, tight security. So we've gone through with tight security. Not only tight security, we had dogs round us. Alsatian dogs round us. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? To protect us. So I think, what is going on here? We went through a gate. Went through another gate. Now the time we got to see Tommy was 2:45. Now, you got to think, we were supposed to be there at 2:00, have a 2-hour visit. We got there, in there, to speak to Tommy 2:45. Ezra had to leave at 3:00. So all Ezra had was 15 minutes of his time, where he should at least have an hour. So I've walked into the room. It was a cell. It was a small place, 6 foot by 6 foot. A little chair where Tommy sat, where you're sitting there, and I'm here, my wife's there, and that's how big it was, this little square. I've walked in, I went, Tommy, you converted. What? I said, look at your beard, bruv. Look at your beard. And we had a little talk, you know, and looked at his hair. His hair's all long. He looks like a left converted Muslim. That's what he looks like. And we had a joke about it, and that's where we got to talk to Tommy. And Tommy was Tommy. He honestly broke out, shook our hands, cuddled us, brilliant. Wanted to know about the outside world. He wasn't sure if everyone supported him. And I clued him up and said, Tommy, you got more support. Because while they keep putting you in jail, and even though the left are against us, the left, a little few of the left are coming out and saying that is wrong what they're doing to him.
Yeah, a few people have.
You know, so they're on the same side of us, along the lines of, not Antifa, forget them, but the majority of the left of the school teachers and stuff like that, I'm listening to them and say, this can't be right. So you are doing something right, Tommy. You know, we had a good chat in jail. Before you know it, 4:00 comes, but Tommy did eat 9 packets of cheese and onion crisps. He ate 4 packets of Watsits. He had 6 Diet Cokes and a load of Heribone sweets.
Is this the only time he gets to eat all this stuff?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder he just
Pigged out.
pigged out, yeah.
I took a cheese and onion crisp and said to my wife, and Tommy looked at me and said, I can't take it. I said, well, that's my food. He's eating all right. He's having 12 tins of tuna fish a day with fruit.
Well, it's better than one.
That's right. So, you know, when people say, oh, he's lost loads of weight, don't forget Tommy went in there knowing the fact he's going to jail. Knowing the fact he's going to jail.
Yeah, he could be more prepared, because the last time that was just...
He went in there
out
last
of the
time
blue.
about 12.5 stone. Very light. This
Yeah.
time he's gone in there nearly 14 stone. He built himself up. His mind was set. He spoke to the kids before he left.
Yeah.
So the kids knew. He drummed it to the kids. No kids want to go through this and see their dad go to prison for telling the truth.
Exactly,
And his
yeah.
wife. You know, so the visit finished. Prison officer come up and said, could you kindly leave now? We want you to get out before the other visitors get out. What for? Because you're a target, in so many words. Why? So here we go again. Wait outside, we're ready to go. Stop. You need security. Prison security around you. Dogs come again. All round us. And I thought, I'm like Prince Charles here. I'm getting the best service I can get. Go through one gate, go through another gate, go through another gate, and then go out to the main building. And then when the prison officers left us to say, now, please, can you leave and get in your car? And me and my wife got in the car and drove home.
So, how is his how is the governors treating him in this prison now? Is it a lot better though? Are they treating him with a lot more respect?
Oh, yeah, you know, the prison officers, the governor's coming to see him every single morning.
Yeah,
Spends 30 minutes with him.
that's
And
alright.
Healthcare team, every single day, to make sure he's got his head right, make sure he's feeding properly, he's making sure he's not losing too much weight, well looked after. But the only thing I'm a little bit concerned of is that where they've put him in Ian Huntley's place. It's not in solitary confinement. Everyone said solitary confinement. It is classed as solid crime, but he's not in down the block. He's in a special place where Ian Huntley was, where Ian Huntley had to be kept away. The dirty bastard who killed them young girls.
Yeah.
You know, the young girls from Haverhill. Now he's in that cell, and next door his cell, he's got a washing machine, he's got a tumble dryer, and he uses it for his cell. So that takes time off. Next door to that is his cell. Next door to that, he's got a gym, and he thought, like, gym, I'm going in there in a big gym with weightlifting stuff and running machines like you do in an exercise gym. But all was in there, and they give him an exercise bike. Brilliant. He's on exercise bike 45 minutes a day, sweating out, training hard. So he's being looked after. The prison officers are now saying, like, but as long as you don't come back and demonstrate outside Belmarsh prison.
So basically, he gets more rights if we didn't protest.
That's right, and that's why I don't feel like that. We no need to go there whatsoever.
Yeah, as long as he's being treated okay, I think that's.
We would be down there straight away. If we got a phone call tomorrow.
If it was similar to Unley, I think we should be there every week.
Yes, you're right. You're right. You know, so he, no respect to him. That's why he's staying in Belmarsh. And I can honestly say this time, I hate the establishment. I hate the police. I hate what they've done to Tommy. But this time, I think they've learnt their lesson of what they've done to him on Unley.
I agree. Has he? Obviously there was news that he spoke to Julian Assange, or whatever you pronounce it.
That's true.
Is that true? Yeah.
He was over the other side of the block, upstairs. He's on the same, not the same wing.
Is he in contact with him much, or is it just that once?
Nah, just twice.
Twice he's been in contact with him.
They're having chats.
Do you know what they chatted about? Anything?
No. More about journalism.
Yeah.
You know, while you're in there, you got to think Julian Assange he's looking at a long time.
I know.
You know, so he's journalist on Tommy. He's nothing compared what Tommy's got in. Julian Assange could be looking at 14 years.
But is he in like a similar department to him then?
Yes, but they can shout at each other.
Yeah.
They can shout at each other. They're not on the same wing, but
they
can scream. But I feel like they might move Julian Assange so they don't talk. That's my opinion. I think what is happening, because no more's been said about Julian Assange.
Yeah, they might have moved him.
They might have moved him away so he could go and talk to him.
What about? Do you have any news on what Ross Kemp said to him at all, or if he spoke to him anymore?
Yes. When Ross Kemp come to the demonstration, he didn't highlight Tommy. He just looked to me as if he hated Tommy in so many words. To think, why are you here for? And I thought Dan Tomo done a brilliant video on him. Didn't go mad at him. Spoke about highly the truth, and no more done. So as I've come out the Belmarsh prison, Ross Kemp is there again with his team, doing stuff. And I said to Ross, thank you, Ross, for going to see Tommy. Because he does go and see Tommy. He's interviewed him in his bike, in his cell. And Ross Kemp's exact words were to me, and he cannot get away from this. I wish I filmed him. And I got proof from my wife. Heard him say, I said, how do you feel about Tommy now? His exact words were, what a nice man he is. He's a down-to-earth man. That's come from Ross Kemp, who goes and visits him all the time. So when it does come out, I want to be hearing what Ross Kemp's got to say. If they don't, take it over the other way.
Do you really think he's going to be making those kind of comments though on ITV?
Well, I'll be the first one to go on there and speak to Ross Kemp personally, and I'll do my utmost to have him face to face with me, exactly what he told me outside that prison. That Tommy Robertson is a nice man. He didn't realise all the crap he's been listening to on the MSN, stuff like that.
To be fair, like I think Ross could possibly say it, but the ITV editing team would probably try and take it out.
But they can't. If he sticks by his beliefs, which I hope he does, he'll get a lot more support.
Yeah, he would, definitely. So, obviously he's due to be released in the next 3 weeks.
Yes, I can't say the date.
That's fine. What do you think's next, and what do you think he should do next?
Well, he's going to get released, and when he does get released, you know, it will come out. I'm hoping it don't. He wants time. He wants coming out of prison. He doesn't want none of his patriots outside. He loves his patriots. Let's get that straight.
Of course he does.
You've got to think, he's got 10 weeks without his children. I know his children are visiting and his wife's visiting, but they're only visiting for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it needs family time.
He needs to get home.
Have a holiday.
He's asking, personally asking, please can everyone leave? Please do not turn up at Belmarsh. Please, because otherwise they're going to have a party and he's danger. He could be in danger. You know, the left could be outside. The Muslim population of the Islam could be outside. He's a target.
He is, yeah.
So let's get him away, back to his precious wife. And his wife's going through so much, and no one believes what she's gone through. She cries. Not his boy anymore. Spencer, his boy, he's got over it. Never get over it as his dad, but he's always on the phone. As my dad. He's got over this one. Last time it was horrible because of what things he was hearing, you know, and stuff like that. So what I think what he'll do when he comes out, knowing Tommy, he'll be out for 2 days and bang on it. But I'm hoping he's not.
Yeah, I think he needs a good break. I think he needs a good month with his family and recharge the batteries, come back firing.
Yes, he will. He will come back firing.
I'm sorry, I just want to touch on. Did he say much about the fake news story from the Daily Star at all?
Yeah, we spoke about the Daily Star and he laughed. And he was ready to put a claim in against it. But the Daily Star have come up and said they had intel that happened. Ask where the intel come from. Can't say, not allowed to. So they made a story on someone saying something. It might be someone in the prison who got paid X amount of money to help him out, who knows? But they're not allowed to say. So what, Tommy's just laughed about it. So that never ever happened. You got to think, if it did happen, do you think Tommy Robson would hit a 70-year-old man anyway?
I know. Of course he wouldn't.
He would just stand there and take it. But how could he go in a shower?
But it was the way they talked about it, like that he came in all high and mighty, do you know what I mean?
But if he come in high and mighty, he did not go to that jail where there was people there. No one is in his place where he's at. It's only him. So he can't be in the shower. The only person who can touch him is the prison officer. They've only got one prison officer looking after him. Ian Huntley had 3 or 4. But the prison officer said, we only need one. You're not a danger to anyone.
Yeah.
It's a lovely job for a prison officer, sitting outside in that wing all day, listening to Tommy, speaking to him. And then, you know, I spoke to one prison officer, and supportive person I've ever seen. He said, Tommy should not be in here. And that's come from a prison officer.
That's come from a prison officer.
That's come from a prison officer.
I spoke to a former prison officer that actually supports him.
Yes.
I got an interview on here with him, and he's disgusted how he's been treated.
You've got to think that these prison officers could be ex-servicemen who's fought for our country and wanted what Tommy wants: freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech back to 1945, what Winston Churchill gave us, which Tommy has not got freedom of speech.
I agree, yeah. Just want to touch up. I don't know if he's been aware, because I don't think he'd want the stress over his head or whatever. But has he been aware of any of the infiltrators this time or not?
At this point in time, we can't mention nothing about that at the moment. Tommy will be. He stated just in his letter. I don't know if anyone's seen it.
Oh yeah, I did see the letter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's on my Facebook. To state that Tommy will be sorting this out. You got to think, you know, there's infiltrators from everywhere, but the infiltrators only do it when Tommy's in jail.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and it was 1 week straight after he went as
jail,
well.
everyone just jumps on it, but when he comes out, it's sorry, Tommy, we didn't mean it. We didn't mean this. We didn't mean that. Trying to get a call. Tommy's sitting back in that cell laughing. He's laughing, thinking, I know who you are now. I know who you are. So I think it's best to leave that to Tommy to come out, speak to his wife, speak to his children, then see what he does about these people supposedly love Tommy Robinson.
Yeah.
Goes to jail and everyone jumps on his back. What they've done, they've kicked a man in his back while he's down. And he can't do nothing about it.
He can't defend himself.
You know, and his poor wife's seeing this and listening to it. You know, and his wife, Jenna, I'm allowed to use her name because everyone knows her name is Jenna. His wife, Jenna, she's a courageous woman.
Yeah, very brave.
Courageous woman I've ever seen in my life.
Stuck by him for everything, so she deserves a lot of credit.
She's told Tommy to please give up. Please stop this movement. In the EDL days, even this movement now. And Tommy said, if I give up, we're still the target. And they've sat down and spoke. And Jenna turned around and said, Tommy, I will stick by you whatever you do. And that woman is a courageous woman. And his 3 children.
They all deserve a lot of credit. Because that's what I mean, like a lot of people would be frightened now, especially if you've got children.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So.
Well, yeah, you use the word frightened. I'm frightened to leave my house and go on these demonstrations, Tommy. I'm frightened. But I've got to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my grandchildren. I want my grandchildren
Well said,
not
yeah.
to fight for me. My grandchildren, I want my grandchildren. I've got 7 grandchildren who are in the age of under 10. I'm looking at them thinking, I'm fighting for you. I don't want to be in a wheelchair and you're fighting for me and you're going to go through death. They kill me and I get this state going and how it should be. Ban Islam, you'll have a better life. And now I think everyone along the edge should say yes. Let's help our next generation.
Of course. So before we finish off, do you reckon there's a message that Tommy would send to the supporters that have sent him all the letters and the support? Is there a message from Tommy?
Yeah, there is. Tommy did say when I left, when he said, I've got people supporting me, he knew outside Belmarsh. And he said he thanks everybody from the bottom of his heart. Because he said to me, in exact words, this is not a Tommy Robinson movement. This is a people's movement. He can't do it without the people behind him, the patriots. And he says, the letters he's getting, you got to think you're in jail. What else can you do? His books, he's got more books than the libraries have. He's got thousands of books. What he can read.
Yeah.
He can't read them all. They have got post office bags for him. And no word will lie, if I say there's 15,000 letters still waiting to be read, they're getting through to him now. So he's loving it. He's sitting there and thinking, people are just putting stuff. Love you, Tommy. Love you, Tommy. And he's thinking, I'm in here because of you. I'm in here because of you. And when I come out, he wants the same support. Because Tommy is not going to give up. You're not going to let Tommy rot down. If it means he goes back to jail again for something he hasn't done, he will go back to jail and prove himself that he's not wrong. He's not far right. Get that word wrong. When I hear the left say far right, no, he's right. Forget the far right.
He's just right.
He's just right.
He's just right. Is there going to be a celebration party when he comes out? Obviously, it'll be in time, but will there be a little party for us all to attend?
We've got to speak to his wife first and his children, but I know Tommy will definitely want a celebration party. It will be done like barbecues and music, but we will pick the date when it's right, that we will turn up and everyone can have pictures with him, you know what I mean, and do what all his love supporters to get round there and shake his hand of what he's done for our country, for our people. So it will be out on the TR News. That's where the celebration party is going to be. But there's definitely going to be a celebration party.
Oh, brilliant. Before we end it, is there anything you would like to say to the Tommy supporters watching it?
Yeah, all I say to you is, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, we all love you. Honestly, we all love you. And as I said, it's not a Tommy Robinson movement, it's your movement. Tommy could go round on that mic and speak, but if there's no people there to listen to, it's no good him talking. So that is his movement. And I would say to them people is that the day he comes out, give him a bit of time. When he's ready, let's go firing again. Because he is going to go one step further. That's all I'm going to say, yeah. He ain't finished. He's going one step further. I mean, not by law, breaking the law. He's going one step further. And when you see something comes out in January, it will open everyone's eyes. The left, the right, anyone. This will, I can't say no more when it's going to be, what it's about, but
I think I know what you're on about, but
he's
yeah,
taking one step further, but he's stepping up another notch.
That's exciting times ahead, and I appreciate the time you've given me today, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris.
No worries.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks, mate.